The inside guys on NBA on TNT dove deep into the thrilling action of Game 4 between the Golden State Warriors and their opponents, analyzing every key moment, the high drama, and the game-changing plays that had fans on the edge of their seats. Shaquille O'Neal, always the straight shooter, started things off by emphasizing the intensity of the game. "Man, Game 4 was wild," Shaq said, shaking his head in disbelief. "We saw everything, big shots, crucial turnovers, and late-game heroics. That's playoff basketball. Both teams came to play, but it was Golden State that pulled it out in the end." Charles Barkley, as usual, was quick to add his perspective. "You're right, Shaq. It was wild, but let's not forget, Golden State got lucky. They shouldn't have even been in that game. They almost blew it, especially with those late turnovers. If they don't clean that up, they won't get far." Kenny Smith stepped in, taking a more analytical approach. "Golden State thrives in those chaotic moments, though. You gotta remember, they've been here before. They've played under pressure. So when the game got tight, their experience took over. Steph Curry's three to seal, it was vintage Curry." Ernie Johnson jumped in, asking the crew what they thought about the Warriors' defense, which seemed to tighten up as the game progressed. Shaq was quick to give them credit. Their defense was much better in the second half. They forced turnovers, contested shots, and didn't let the other team get easy looks. It's one thing to have a high-scoring offense, but Golden State has really stepped up their defense in these playoffs. Charles disagreed, adding his own take. "I don't care what anyone says, Golden State's defense is still suspect. They got away with it in Game 4, but they'll face better teams next round. If they don't tighten up on the defensive end, they'll be out quickly." Kenny, ever the optimist when it comes to team strategy, offered a different perspective. "Golden State's defense isn't perfect, but what they do best is defend in critical moments. They force you into bad shots when it matters most, and that's what makes them so dangerous in the playoffs." Ernie then shifted the conversation to the opposing team, asking what they could have done differently to pull out the win. Shaq responded first. "They needed better shot selection late in the game. They rushed some shots when they could have taken their time. It's a tough environment in Golden State, but they have to execute better in crunch time." Charles agreed, but with a bit more criticism. They were soft at times. They let Golden State dictate the tempo too much. In the playoffs, you can't just let the other team dictate the pace. You have to match that intensity. Kenny acknowledged their struggle but pointed out some positive moments. They played with heart. They stayed in it even when the game was slipping away. But like Shaq said, when you get in those tight moments, it's about making the right decisions, and they couldn't close it. Ernie brought up the key play late in the game, Steph Curry's clutch three-pointer, and asked the crew if that's what makes Curry such a special player in high-pressure moments. Shaq, clearly a fan of Curry, didn't hold back. "Steph is different. He doesn't get rattled. You can throw everything at him, but he'll always find a way to hit that big shot. That's what makes him a champion." Charles chimed in with his trademark humor. "He's the best shooter of all time. I don't care what anyone says. When the game's on the line, that's who I want taking the shot." Kenny echoed those sentiments. Steph Curry, in clutch moments, is a different beast. He's built for the big stage. You just don't find guys like that. The conversation then shifted to the implications for the rest of the series. Ernie asked the crew if they thought Golden State would carry this momentum forward. Shaq responded confidently. "They're going to be tough to beat. But it's not over yet. The next game's going to be even more intense. If they slip up, they'll let the other team back in." Charles, with his usual candidness, said, "Golden State's a great team, but they've got their weaknesses. If they don't clean things up, they could get shocked in the next round." Kenny finished off the discussion with a more positive outlook for Golden State. "They've got the experience, the leadership, and the weapons. They're going to be dangerous no matter who they face." The inside guys wrapped up the conversation, with all eyes on Golden State as the series continued to heat up. There's no doubt that the Warriors' performance in Game 4 raised the stakes for the rest of the playoffs.